So why is this a problem? Because I often see the women who have the ugliest reaction to debt are also the ones who are sitting on the sidelines. They've got big goals, big dreams, and certainly big potential. But these ideas about debt and money management are holding them hostage. And what do I mean by that? It means that because they think debt is so bad and must be avoided at all costs, that it is the root of all evil, that they are held hostage. They deny themselves the support and the development they need to grow their impact and develop their skills. And so they end up denying the world their gifts, and by extension, they deny their own families the impact of their success. That's why I'm passionate about this. This is a huge freaking problem. And all the while this is going on, women, not insignificantly, are left feeling like a heaping, steaming pile of dog poo because of these ideas we have about debt and money use. Are you with me? Post a thumbs up or a hell's yeah if you can relate to that. That's why this is a big problem and why I want to shine a light on what debt is and how we can actually use it as a beautiful, supportive, and healthy tool in our development and growth. So here we are. I'm going to share with you, thumbs up, heaping pile of dog poo. I say that with all the love in the world because I've been there as well. So what's the solution I want to share with you ladies today? It is 3 critical truth bombs around what debt is and how we can actually use it to good effect. So the first truth bomb that I want to share with you is this, and you may want to get out your pen and pencil or pen and paper for this, all right? This may hit you over the head like a sack of potatoes. Truth bomb number 1 that we need to realize is that we need to get good, ladies, at spending money if we are ever going to get good at making money. And how do you get good at anything? Well, it's certainly not by sitting on the sidelines and hoping and praying. It's by jumping in the pool and figuring it out. And what this looks like, particularly with money and debt, is that we've got to hold our nose sometimes and go for it. It means investing in ourselves at times, putting it on a credit card, pulling out dollars from our RRSPs, whatever it is, asking for some love money, from one of our relatives. But accepting debt sometimes as a means to greater opportunity. We have got to get good at spending money if we are ever going to get good at making it. And I can assure you, ladies, that the women who are making multiple 6 figures are not freaking out about a $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 tax bill. Why? Because they know they are capable of making that money really quickly. They have graduated in terms of their health and their mindset around what debt is, but more importantly, their capacity to earn money. Okay? As I'm sharing these truth bombs, say, hey, Brandy, you're here as well. Let me know what you think about this. Some of these may be shocking or even offensive new ideas if you are really entrenched in the debt is bad mindset. I do want to share with you an example here. We've got to get good at spending money if we're ever going to get good at making money. And the only way we can get good is dive in. And sometimes it means making mistakes at appropriate levels, right? Sometimes it takes the rubber hitting the road, having skin in the game to really learn the powerful lessons. Do not be afraid of spending money in ways that you may regret, because that's the only way sometimes that we are going to get good at making better decisions. If we never spend money, we never increase our strength, our discernment on what is a good use of our dollars and what is not. So it's kind of like expecting that we're going to learn how to fly a plane, but we're afraid to step into the plane, right? You've got to jump in. You've got to start investing in yourself, spending a little money, taking on appropriate levels of debt if we're going to get comfortable, confident, and better at spending and making money. What do you think, ladies? Now, one of the questions I know that one of our viewers, who she's not here on the live, but she certainly wanted to be a part of it today, she posed a question earlier this week about this topic around student debt. right? And who here has had student debt earlier on or currently in their lives? Give me a thumbs up. You know, and I think I want to speak to this just for a minute, because whether it's student debt or business debt or debt from, you know, a failed prior marriage or whatever it is that sometimes we feel like there's this culture of complaining around debt, that debt is, you know, it's been heaped on us, it's not our fault, it's been imposed, and it's like this noose around our neck. And sometimes we like even commiserating with our college buddies about how much student debt we have and how crippling it is to our lifestyle. But the thing is that we always have a choice. Okay, and that's a little bit of tough love. Maybe getting an art history degree wasn't the best use of our money given current employment opportunities. Great, let's stare that down, look in the mirror and own that. But guess what? Until you start, now this is a radical idea, hold on here. The radical idea is if you continue to hate on your debt, resist it, deny it, feel shameful for it, and ignore it, it will persist, right? Whatever we resist continues and will persist. So here's the radical idea I have for all of you in our community, is whatever debt you have, whether it's a couple grand on a credit card or whether it's $40,000 because of a tax bill, I am going to suggest, encourage, even demand that you start loving on your debt. Because until you do, it's going to keep hanging around. It's going to keep causing you to wake up with the sweats in the middle of the night, and it's just going to get bigger and sweatier and hairier. And I will share a bit of a personal story about this. It wasn't more than about 4 years ago that I was on the other side of this conversation. I physically felt the sensation of wanting to vomit because I had developed a $25,000 debt on a line of credit for my business as I was going through an intense period of development. And I carried that debt for 2 full years. Why? Because I kept ignoring it. I kept thinking, oh, next month I'll make a big juicy payment. Or, you know, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad girl for doing this and what bad decisions I've made. Instead of actually owning that debt and understanding what lessons it was there for me. So here's what I did. And this is kind of a cool story. So 2 years, I'm carrying this $25,000 in debt, feeling really bad about it and kind of ignoring it, right? If I don't look at it, I don't feel so bad about it. And finally, I got so fed up with dragging this ball and chain around and feeling this shame and guilt around this debt that I started to sit down and really get clear. I got into inquiry around what is this debt here to teach me today? And you know what I figured out? I figured out that I had this debt and it was continuing to grow because of interest and stay in my life because money actually wants to be with me. It desperately wants to be with me. It wants to be with you and everyone else in our community, right? Money wants to be with us. We are abundant creatures. But because I continued to ignore, deny, and feel shameful about this debt, it made sense. The only way money could be with me and stay in my life was if it showed up as debt. Because every time I got a little bit of money in my business at that point, boom, it was right out the door and I was spending it, I was paying it off bills, I was giving it to other people as gifts because finally I had a little bit of money. And I was never keeping any of it for myself. So of course, I had to have this big juicy piece of debt because that's the only way I was allowing money to show up in my life and stay in my life. And it wasn't until I started loving on that debt, being thankful for that $25,000 I was in the hole for, and starting to give it attention and find creative ways to actually give money to that debt, that it started to go away. And here's the cool thing. After really shifting this mindset from hating and loathing myself and this debt to loving on it and giving it a whole heap of attention and thanking it for being in my life, I was able to pay that debt off in 30 frickin' days. I got super creative and found a way to make enough income to more than pay off that debt. Crazy, right? So that's this first truth bomb that I wanted to share with you. If we ever are going to get good at making money, we've also got to get good at spending it. And sometimes that requires a little bit of debt. What do you feel? How's that landing with you ladies? Hearts, thumbs, wanting to vomit, whatever, even angry faces. I really want to shine a light. And whatever your reaction is, ladies, it's okay. It's good enough right now, okay? Jennifer says, I'm grateful for my line of credit, right? Okay, perfect segue, Jenny. That is truth bomb number 2. Truth bomb number 2 is this, that credit is a legitimate business tool. I mean, after all, we only get credit because of smart money management and healthy income earning in the past. We earn whatever credit we have available to us. And so by extension, that money is ours. That opportunity, that resource is something we have earned. But so many women feel like, oh my God, I can't use the credit that's available to me because that would make me bad, right? That old crap ass idea of our parents that lived through the 80s. Now, this is not to say that we should be racking up, $200,000 of back taxes and still feel good about ourselves. That's an unhealthy attitude as well. But appropriate levels of using our own credit, which is ours because of how we've managed our money, is a smart business decision. There's a lot of women that I talk to that have really big plans, big dreams, and certainly a huge impact to serve the world. And they get really excited sometimes. Maybe they want to take a trip to go, on a new training, or they want to hire a coach to accelerate their development. And these are, successful women. But when presented an opportunity to do exactly what they've said they want to do, a lot of times we tap out. We say, oh my gosh, I can't spend that amount of money on myself. I don't have that amount of money. But if we inquire for just a minute, it's surprising how many of these same women will tell you, oh, actually, yeah, I've got $10,000 that I've been saving for a rainy day. Or you know what, I've got $100,000 in RRSPs, but I can't touch it. Now the truth is not that these women do not have resources. They have lots of resources, but they tell themselves that that's not their money to touch and that they would be bad if they used their money. Do you begin to see a little bit how dysfunctional or out of reality sometimes this thinking can be? The savings we have, whatever form they are, or the credit that we have access to is ours because of our efforts. And we, as smart businesswomen, can choose to use those savings or lines of credit when we find a smart opportunity. But too often, we sit on the sidelines and give up our power. We act like little girls waiting for someone else to tell us that we can use our money. And I think it's absolute crap. Another way that we cause unnecessary suffering and staying on the sidelines when really the world needs us to step up. So that's truth bomb number 2. Credit is a legitimate tool that we have earned and we can use to accelerate our development. So a question for you ladies as we're getting to our last truth bomb today. It is this. Have you ever heard yourself say, oh, I would love to do that, but I don't have the money? Have you ever heard yourself say that, either internally or verbally? Post a thumbs up below if you have. And if you have, it's an indication of really getting into reality, playing the whole tape through. Do you have the money? Whether it is a credit card, a line of credit, or savings socked away somewhere. Because the truth is that we all can find the money we want for the things we truly need. Jen says, yes, and I really try not to. Woohoo! Yeah, Jen, I know you're getting really strong in this area, and it is something that you are working on continually. So I love the fact that you are showing up again today to talk about this topic. Okay, truth bomb number 3. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Number 3 is this. Avoiding your finances just means that you are ripping yourself off somehow. And so I'm going to invite you to stop it. Stop it. A lot of times we avoid our finances because we're afraid of the reality of that picture. We're afraid of how big our credit card bill is, or how little our savings account shows, or how big our tax bill is going to be. Or we're not really clear on what's coming in and what's going out because we're afraid that we're not profitable. But the truth is that the reality is never as harsh as what we have going on up here. You know, like my client, you may at some point in your business or in your life be hit with a large unexpected bill. You know, if you are really going for it in your career, big bills are a sign of big effort. But I want you to reframe whatever the bills are, whatever the debt is. You can only start to shift and dissolve that debt and the associated shame by truly looking it in the face. And here's the thing, instead of feeling defeated by a big bill or an unexpected, big tax bill or, the balance on our credit card, instead of being defeated and feeling guilt and shame around that, here's a great way to shift your perspective. And this is what I shared with my client earlier this week, is that she was wringing her hands, feeling really quite nauseous over this large new bill that she had. And I said, you know what? Here's a new perspective. My perspective is this. I am really freaking excited for you because you've got this $40,000 tax bill. Well, guess what, baby? Money loves a purpose. And there is no higher purpose than a woman who is determined to pay off an unexpected tax bill. And so what this means, I'm really excited for my client because I know that $40,000 or more is coming to her right freaking now. It's already on her way to her. And that is the truth of it, is that money loves a purpose. So when you invest in yourself, and maybe you put it on a line of credit or maybe you use your credit card, whatever it is, if you are truly lit up about doing that and what opportunities that is going to create for you, then money will find its way to you. It doesn't when you go into shutdown and feel shame, guilt, and self-loathing because of the decision. There's a big difference there. So here's what I know is going to happen for my client with this $40,000 tax debt or tax bill, is that because of this new magnetism, of this vacuum, this purpose of paying off this tax bill, is that it is going to inspire my client to get past areas of resistance or old fears and inaction that she hasn't been able to take in the past. What I know is that she is now going to become this white hot magnet for things like raising her rates where she was afraid before that maybe she didn't feel like she was worth it. She's going to be reaching out to clients and looking for opportunities that before maybe she felt she wasn't good enough. She's going to be focusing really sharply on what is the most effective use of her time instead of frittering it away on things that don't make money. She's going to be calling in outstanding IOUs of people that love her and do owe her money. She's also going to be asking for help now. So instead of ignoring and avoiding her finances, she's going to start taking herself seriously, like a true boss lady, and hiring a bookkeeper, hiring an accountant to help her manage her finances in a smart way. So that's what I mean by I'm totally lit up that she's got a $40,000 tax bill because it creates this white hot point of attraction. It removes the old fears and resistance where she could just kind of hang out and play safe. Now she's got a real purpose, and money loves a purpose.